stuff that you've been doing. Did you guys talk about loading the yes?
Yes.
If you're using yes, have you been doing that?
Yep.
Okay.
Every
good.
time he does the command and he does it right, yes.
And the second it happens, right, you mark it yes, and it's followed with reward.
Was it the 1.3 seconds?
You have 1.3 seconds, right? Classical conditioning, and once you mark the behavior. Theo, sit. Yes, good boy. Good job.
I think it's hilarious that when you say sit, Nico sits too.
Down.
He'll start doing it.
So I'm gonna try getting lower.
That's
when
what we
I
did.
do it.
Last time we came, we sat on the floor with
I'm gonna try getting lower
When
when
we get
I
used
do
to
the
us.
down, right?
You want me to hold Nico? Get him out of there?
Yeah, just so I can work
Nico.
with this guy right here.
He'll start doing the roll.
He rolls over. It's funny.
Good boy. Down.
Yes.
Good. See, I kind of freaks out when I touch his back. Just a little bit of pressure. And I don't even need to use pressure at all. Just touching his back lets him go down. Down, and then lure, right? Yes. Yes, good boy. So if you do that a bunch of times, there comes a point, that you have to test it. Right? So you have to test it. So down. Down. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
If you give him a chance, instead of keep luring every single time, give him a chance. Test it.
Yeah.
That means he's learning, right?
Yeah.
So I waited. I gave him the command. He understands the command. It tells me he understands the command. It's not instant. It's not fast, right? Because he's still learning it.
Yeah.
If we apply too much pressure to teach him something, he's going to become careful. We don't want him becoming
You
careful.
don't want him to operate, from understanding, not fear.
Right.
Look at him.
Yeah. So when he comes to you, don't give him any love, unfortunately, because I want him to pay attention to me.
Copy.
Sit. Down. Yes.
Look at that.
So he's learned, right? So very, very good. Also, yes, I'm sure he understands yes. It depends on how many times you've done it. So obviously, we're going to talk about, yes, you do have the harness, right?
I just put that leash on.
Perfect. That's fine. That's fine. I love the harness. Right? It's really,
It might
really
be the
cool.
wrong one. I
You
thought-
should have put like SWAT or something on it.
Human protector.
Human. That's awesome. So I know your main concern is because he's 9 months old, he's a puppy. He's got a lot of energy. Is building value of him walking near us versus pulling us. He's got what, a flat collar right here?
So that's the cut. I had that second collar, the first blue one that I had last time.
Okay.
He slipped out of that one.
That
Okay.
one he slipped out.
This one he doesn't slip out.
This one he
one's
doesn't
good.
say. It's just another flat collar too.
Yeah.
So you could use the flat collar. I don't like using the flat collar for a simple fact that all the pressure when he's pulling, all the pressure's on his throat.
Yeah.
So if we're not going to use a harness, you'll still use a harness, but I want to use a slip leash to teach him how to walk first, right? If I use this and to build the value, the reason why I like the slip leash for him is because it's guaranteed not to come off.
And it's the same thing we talked about last time. The martingale collar, it does the same exact thing.
Right. It's just a little bit of pressure, right?
You want to take off the other collar?
Yeah, let's take off the other collar
off?
down, hook them up to that, take off the other collar. So you got to move that ring down, right? It's all about fit. It's all how you got it. So the ring, that ring there is there for, so it doesn't really choke the dog, right? If you set it at a certain spot, the pressure will apply all the way around. However, it'll stop. It won't get as tight. We don't want it super tight, right? And then the thing to back it up is so it doesn't come loose. There's also something there that doesn't come loose. All right, so you got that?
Yeah, I got it. I haven't seen one like this in a while.
That's a really good one.
This
I'm
one's a
going
little
to take
bit
this
more.
off for now.
It has a clip and then Velcro. After it clips, you
Oh,
pull.
here, take that off, Don.
Yeah.
Well, and then I'll check
Oh, I got you, buddy. Don't worry about it.
I'll check the other one. Good boy. We got all that fancy stuff. Look at this. This is like Bruno, man. Look at this. It's like my canine's got stuff like this. Wow, man.
Almost
We're gonna
got
put
it.
this guy to work.
Almost got it fit completely. Just give me 1 second.
Hi, baby. Down. You're not gonna listen right now, are you? Because he's touching your neck, and he's like, "What's going on here?" What's going on? Look,
That's not.
Oh boy.
It's not terrible.
All right, let me see. Let me see.
Before we walk, I would maybe.
Let me see.
a little
I'm gonna
tighter.
check. I'm gonna check. All right, so I'm gonna move this a little closer.
Yep.
Right. So now, and then I'm gonna move this down. Right. So now, look, if you were to back up, I'm always gonna check it. Right. Not tight at all. So if you no. So if you were to back up, like kind of try to get away from me, it ends up getting tighter. So it doesn't slip out. Right. So we gotta make sure. Good boy.
See, you know what it is? He's got a lot of fur, so you think his neck is bigger than it is.
Right. So we're gonna just.
He has a haircut this weekend.
You getting a
There we go.
haircut, bud?
There we go.
So, so we'll talk about
Pressure.
pressure is one thing. The operant conditioning, right? So I don't know if Dominic had explained operant conditioning to you. There's 4 quadrants to operant conditioning, and we're going to use one of the quadrants. But the 4 quadrants are positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, negative punishment. Because I say punishment doesn't mean we're going to be taking out whips and chains, okay? So that's not going to happen. Positive reinforcement was what I was doing before. I asked him to do something. He understood, like the sit. He understands the sit. He sits. I mark it and I reward him, right? Positive is I add something to the equation. That's what positive means. And reinforcement is obviously I'm reinforcing the behavior. More and more he does it, the more I reinforce it. Negative reinforcement is we take something away. So negative means we're taking something away. Something as simple, if he's pulling me, right? That's pressure right there. Theo, he comes to me, the pressure turns off. That's negative reinforcement, right? The pressure turns off. So we teach him like when that pressure applies and I call your name, you turn that pressure off. Theo, yes, I mark it and he gets rewarded, right? Good boy, good job. Then there's negative punishment. There's positive punishment and negative punishment. Positive punishment is a leash pop. There's some stuff that you could do for positive punishment with him, like the jumping up. What I would do is I would have this collar on him, and I would literally put the collar down here and just kind of step on it, right, like this. If like somebody comes at the door and he keeps jumping, he applies his own pressure every time he jumps. So he corrects himself. It's loose right now, but if he were to come up, right, so it's loose. If he were to jump up, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Versus us going like this, no, marking it, no. See, I went to jump up and it didn't work, right? Because this happened, right?
But he can still stand. He can
still do his thing. He can sit, right? So I'll keep adjusting. But if he goes to come up, he'll get his own correction, right? And then obviously negative punishment is withholding. I like negative punishment the best. Is when the dog understands, and we use reward. We use reward for everything because that's the motivation in doing dog training. Time and consistency motivation. The motivation is this, the payment, right? You go to work for what?
The money.
The money, the paycheck, right? This is the money, this is the paycheck. So if I ask him to deal down. Down. You were just about to do it. Down. Yes. Good job.
Good. Really good.
Right? So if I ask him to down, kind of what was happening, what you didn't notice that is part of negative punishment, I wasn't giving him reward. I was withholding reward. And I'm asking him down. And I know he understands down, right? So that's negative punishment, withholding reward. I love that. When a dog understands something and you ask him to do it, and he doesn't do it, he doesn't get the reward. So he's like, reward's not coming. Wait a minute. Down. The second he does it, boom, he gets paid. All right, so that's negative punishment.
Also very cool. You could see him thinking.
Withholding rewards. Seeing a dog think is the most amazing thing, right? What we don't do sometimes, or most of the time, is we don't give the dog a chance. And we think the dog is dumb. I don't know, I got to keep doing this. But if you're doing it right, if you call us, right, and we're helping you, we're showing you, and you're doing it right, give the dog a chance to respond. Don't be automatic and, oh my God, he's not down, and so I got to keep doing this every time. Give him a chance. There's nothing better than watching a dog actually think. And that's what? It's called what? When a dog thinks. Free shaping, right? A dog thinks on its own, it responds, and everything works out beautifully. You mark it, he gets rewarded. He's learning. It's free shape. He's using his brain, right, for to learn. Good boy. No, good. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go for a little walk, and I'm gonna show you how applying the pressure. Pressure meaning he applies the pressure, and I show him how to turn the pressure off.
So
and that's what you're gonna show. Go ahead.
Would it be better on the walk to have his flat collar on as well to prevent the slip leash from sliding too low?
So right now, I don't care where the slip leash is. I still have to. I'm just introducing it. But what I mean by you as well, right? When you're doing the walking, the pressure applied. He applies the pressure by what? By pulling, right? He's learning that. Look, if he stays in this area here, there's no pressure. If he pulls me, he applies the pressure. I'm going to teach him how to turn that pressure off. I use the recall that I use is just their name. I don't say come. I don't say here. The reason why I like using their name for recall, and I don't know if it was explained to you during the evaluation on using formal recall and informal recall.
We talked.
Recall, if you're going to recall your dog with using his name, as he's learning, he has to be hooked up to a leash, right? Because the second you call his name, Theo, you gotta give him a little pressure to come to you, right?
Now, Tom, real quick, explain to us what happened after we left last time.
Right out here, I let him out. He heard something, he backed up, slipped out, started going right to the street. And then I was just like, Theo, and he looked at me and just ran right up to me. And then I rewarded him real quick.
During the evaluation, it was me and Jake sitting here and here, calling his name.
So that built that recall. The name means recall. Like sit is sit. You got to do this motion. It's a sound. Even their name is a sound. Everything is a sound to a dog. The SIT, sit, is a sound. And when he hears sit, this is what I got to do. But if he hears his name, it's, oh my God, who's calling my name? I'm gonna come to you, right? Theo, yes. I mark it when he makes his way over to me, and I reward it. There's motivation there. Every time I hear my name, every time you call my name, right? And I went up to you, and you peeled off a $100 bill out of your pocket. Every single time you call my name from that moment forward, I'm gonna come every time. Every single time. But yeah, yes sir, Tom. What do you need, buddy? Right? So this is the $100 bill. The dog, there has to be value, reason why the dog comes to you. Informal recalls is when you have multiple people in the house. Stop using his name to call him over. Informal. Right? Don't correct it if he doesn't come to you. It's no big deal, right? For the most part, he will. But if he doesn't, no big deal. But if I say, Theo, I'm applying a little pressure right away. He's going to come to me.
As much as me and Jake would love to take the credit as the greatest trainers ever, it's you, right? The reason he came back was because not only was there value there, you rewarded him for coming, first of all, but you didn't chase after him. You stayed calm, right? You did exactly like we showed you. And the reason he came back is because you showed him there's value to his name already. So it's props to you.
Yeah, very, very, very much so, but you didn't panic. That's most
so
important.
I was about to, it came in, but in the back of my head, I'm like, okay.
Right.
The first thing that came to my head was, don't chase him, it's a game.
Mm-hmm. Their natural reaction is they turn around to see you coming at them. They're going to run around and be like, oh shit, this is going to be fun, right? We don't want to do that. We want to teach them, like, I call your name, you got to come back to me. It's very, very, very important. The other thing too about the name too is when that happens, is what's the first thing? Your dog gets loose from you, what's the first thing you're going to say?
You scramble.
Your first thing you're going to yell is his name. And it's there. Not, Theo, come, Theo, here. No. Theo, the dog, if you do the recall enough times, training it, a little bit of pressure to come to me, yes, you get rewarded every time you come to me. If you do it over and over and over again, the dog becomes conditioned to the simple point to the simple fact that the dog's walking, he hears Theo, he's gonna automatically, his brain's gonna tell him, oh, this is what I gotta do when I hear that, right? So the dog becomes conditioned. All right, so what's the exercise we're gonna do? We're gonna use operant conditioning right now. Negative reinforcement, pressure turning away. He's gonna apply his own pressure. I'm gonna show him how to turn it off. When he turns it off and makes that commitment to release that pressure and come back to me, I'm gonna mark it and reward it. So it's, what do you gotta do, right? Too many things happening at once, right? We have to slow it down, go to a slow thinking. He's pulling, you're gonna stop moving. That's your first step. Not keep moving while he's pulling.
Yeah.
Right? You got to, your first step that you're gonna do is he goes into a pull, you're gonna stop moving. By you stop moving and him keep going is pressure, right? So number one, stop moving. Number two, his name. So that's number two. So slow thinking. Number two. Number three, step back. Stepping back, depending on what you do, I like being a little bit more animated, is luring the dog to you. Believe it or not, when you back up and go, Theo, right? They want to come to you when you do that.
Game.
Right? So that starts to teach them how to turn that pressure off. That's number three, right? Stepping back. Number four, he's coming to you, marking it. You have to mark it. And number five, reward. Okay? Over and over and over again. Before we get to that, he hasn't been out in a little bit, right?
Yeah, he didn't go on a walk.
Right,
so as soon as he sees that, he'll go crazy.
So he's gonna go crazy, okay? So, if he needs to go to the bathroom, I am gonna give him a distance from here to maybe where that car is over there. Or maybe a little bit, maybe 10 feet to the right, 10 feet to the left to go to the bathroom. So if he's been holding it in this whole time, we're not going to go into start training him immediately when he's going to the bathroom. That'll eventually come. But if we want to do it the second he steps out the door, we're going to start doing that. That's like you having to go to the bathroom really, really bad and me grabbing your belt and going, yo, slow down. Yo, I got to go to the bathroom, right? So easy. We're going to be nice and easy on this guy, all right? So let's go. Theo, yes. Theo, yes.
He's got that Chico face.
All right, so do you do the whole sit? Yes. He's not gonna come out this door until I open the door and I release him. So I sat him, he's on a sit. I hold the leash nice and loose. Free. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Good boy.
Hey, Dad, did you believe last time we brought him for a walk, he started pulling very excitedly towards a woman that was completely terrified of him.
Okay. Yes, good boy. Good. Go. Good. Go. You can mark that. I say go to my dogs. Good. You can mark it every time he goes to the bathroom. This way, if you want him to empty, let's say you get up early and you got to get him out, but you're running late for work, take him outside and he understands what go means, or empty, whatever word you use, he'll empty and then you can bring him back inside, right? For the most part right now, we're not going to go crazy with that, but we're going to walk with him. So you're going to notice, right, when he applies that pressure. So I'm also going to start to build value to my side, right? Left side or right side, what do you prefer?
Holding the leash?
Yeah.
Right side.
Damn it.
But you go left. It depends what side I'm on the street on.
I was gonna say, please say left. I'm so used to left.
Go left, yeah.
But we'll do left, and then you're gonna just mirror it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want your dog to walk on the right, the pouch goes on the right, or the treats. If you don't want to walk around like this, okay? I get it.
No.
Put the treats in your pocket then, right? So, but that there's got to be some type of value.
Yeah.
Yes.
Already.
Good boy.
His first time
So see, I stopped, right? Remember what I'm doing? Just count down slowly, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So he's still sniffing, right? He's sniffing. He's doing his thing. Well, most important thing is he's not pulling me, right? So when he starts to pull me, Theo, yes.
Look at that.
I marked it and I rewarded
Now, Dad,
it.
do you think he should utilize?
So the whole objective is when we're teaching loose leash is to end up walking your dog with just your finger, right? So, Theo, yes, good boy, good boy. So let's see, right? If he's pulling me, I stop. Theo, I step back, pressure, Theo, yes, call his name, right? Theo, yes. I'm working two things. I'm teaching him how to turn the pressure off, but believe it or not, we're also working on recall by calling the name over and over again, right? Theo, yes. Good. Good. So another thing we're gonna start doing too, once he's kind of done sniffing, right, is I'm gonna start walking like this. Yes.
I think you brought up last time, once you get past that first half of the walk, he kind of calms down a little bit, gets a little tired.
Yep. Once he tires out a little, it's no pulling.
Good.
It's that initial energy that gets him choking himself.
Good boy.
Yeah, and he only
Theo.
gets that burst of energy when somebody walks by. He just cries. He wants that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like I had him at the dog beach yesterday. At the beach yesterday. There's a bunch of dogs there. Yeah. He was fine. As long as he sit. Well, some dogs that walk right by just
Theo.
want to sit.
Theo.
Sit, but he would whine.
Yes.
But he wouldn't move.
It's great. And, you know, especially because he's so young.
Yeah.
Eventually, the shock value of other dogs, other people, will die out to where he's more used to them. But at this age, you know, I mean, it's just like when we were kids at a park. You run into a bunch of other kids, it's all you do the whole time. To play with.
Theo,
So,
yes, good boy.
he's picking up quick.
Good.
So smart.
Theo, I don't care if you call his name 500 times, right? When I'm first teaching my dog how to walk on the leash, I will call his name a bunch of times. Every time I call his name, pressure to me. Theo, yes, yes, Theo, yes. Yeah. So the other thing too about walking a dog is this should never happen. Right here, I see people doing it a lot. This is how they're walking their dog. I see people with like these big German Shepherds. Look at me, I have a German Shepherd and he walks right by my side. However, sit. Theo, sit. However, the dog this is all wrapped up like this and they're like this and walking the dog. You're taking away the dog's greatest thing is their nose. Their nose is amazing, man. Their nose is what our eyes are to us. Let him use his nose, right? That's what God gave him, a nose. Well, they identify. So see the pulling? Theo. Yes. Every time he pulls. Theo. 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 Yes. Right? Their nose is very, very important to them. They get all their information from using their nose. Just like we use our nose too. It's like, whatever, but our eyes are mainly everything, right? Same with him, it's the opposite. With him, it's the opposite. It's the nose, right? Theo. See, right now he's getting information. Ooh, another dog peed there. A male, maybe a male. Maybe a male that has, I don't know, some health issues. He could read all that with just by sniffing it. So give him the opportunity to smell with his nose. Theo. Yes, good boy. Good.